Car tester Ines Petri is taking Porsche's new Panamera S E-Hybrid for a spin. The first thing she notices is how quiet it slips along. That's because of its electric motor. Now she wants to see what Porsche's hybrid can do. Porsche had already put out a hybrid version of its Panamera in 2010, but the technology for the second generation is a great leap forward. The Panamera S E-Hybrid's electric motor is twice as powerful, and its lithium-ion batteries have 5 times the capacity. Now that can be charged direct from a regular outlet. In hybrid mode, the S E-Hybrid puts out 306 kilowatts of power. Under the hood is a 3-liter V6 gasoline-powered engine. The electric motor sits on the rear drive unit, between the engine and the transmission. The trunk offers plenty of room for the recharging cable, with the battery unit right under the trunk floor. It can be charged in 2.5 hours from an industrial power socket and in around 4 hours from a household outlet. When Ines turned the key, she could hardly even tell if the engine was actually running or not. But a green day glow needle told her the car was ready. In other words, the car was on and ready to go. Here are the specs at a glance. The plug-in hybrid leaps from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.5 seconds, putting it on par with the power of a classic V8 engine. Porsche rates the fuel consumption at 3.1 liters of premium per 100 kilometers, with CO2 emissions of 71 grams per kilometer. Ines explains that the car has 3 driving modes. In E mode, you're driving on electric power. The car is running on the batteries only. Turn the E mode off, and you're driving in hybrid mode, which means the gasoline engine pitches in. This mode goes easy on the batteries, whose power is safe for city driving. If she wants to recharge the batteries a little, she selects the E-Charge mode, so the car drives on gasoline power, and the batteries are recharged by regenerative braking. For city driving in the purely electric mode, the Panamera S E-Hybrid can range from 18 to 36 kilometers. Ines points out that the electric motor makes a lot of sense in town because it's free of emissions. But you have to be very careful, since the car doesn't make any noise, meaning that you have to pay especially close attention to pedestrians and bike riders when approaching them from behind. Often, they can't hear the car coming. Inside, the S E-Hybrid featured the exacted Porsche luxury with lots of room for the driver and passengers. And working the hybrid systems using the switches on the center console is child's play. Ines finds the car's technology simply fascinating. That is, the interaction of gasoline and electric engines in hybrid mode and how they mutually support one another. At the same time, she likes having control over the system. She can be driving on the gasoline engine and simply switch over to the electric motor without ever noticing the difference, except that the tachometer drops to 0. To sum up, Ines says this is a truly extraordinary Porsche. Some drivers might miss the familiar Porsche sound like she did at first, but then you realize what kind of technology you're dealing with and how it's working behind the scenes almost unnoticeably. When you consider how much has changed from one generation to the next, you get a sense of how much potential remains for future progress. Starting at nearly 111,000 euros in Germany, the Panamera and its green technology certainly don't come cheap. But what Porsche does, the Porsche is simply an expensive car.